Welcome to the debut of a new series that I like to call Stupid News of whatever month and year that stupid news takes place in. So anyways, this is Stupid News of November of 2017. Yes, I know we're in December, but the month barely fucking started. And this is how it's always going to be. It's always going to be probably in the beginning of a month, and it's always going to cover... This series is always going to cover the stupid news that happened in the previous month. This is how it's always going to roll. I don't know if I'll always do it like this. I don't know. Maybe the rules will change as this series progresses. But I am very excited to do this series. It's about time I do something new with this channel. Well, new-ish, I should say. So anyways, I don't know if I have a set schedule for this series. I don't know if I'll do it every month or anything like that. So don't bitch at me if I don't get around to doing this in January. So anyways, who knows? Maybe I won't do another one of these. But still, this is a series that I want to try out, and hopefully it's fun. And hopefully all of you watching enjoy this series. So anyways, let's begin, and let's get into the stupid news of November 2017. Woman, 18, accused of raping man at Knifepoint, gets probation. The 18-year-old woman accused of raping a man at Knifepoint earlier this year will spend the next 5 years on probation and 25 years on the sex offender registry. Lestina Marie Smith was sentenced Monday afternoon, November 20th, by Circuit Judge Andre R. Borrello, hopefully I didn't butcher his last name there, on one count of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, a 15-year felony. In addition to probation and registry, Borrello ordered Smith to complete sex offender treatment, have no contact with the 20-year-old victim, and pay the victim $1,000 for damages done to his vehicle and its contents. Borrello also ordered 313 days in jail with a credit for 313 days served. Smith will spend the next year on GPS tether. Smith initially faced life in prison on 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. She pleaded to no contest September 13th to 1 account of second-degree criminal sexual conduct. Smith was 17 years old when she raped the 19-year-old man in his car, videotaped part of the incident, and threatened him with a knife on January 11th. The man previously testified. The pair had dated for about two months in late 2016, according to the man's testimony. Smith's attorney, James F. Gust, said the sentence fits the situation. The biggest factor, he said, is the man wrote a letter to Borrello asking the judge to not send Smith to prison. Mental health issues, lack of criminal record, and other circumstances were additional mitigating factors, Gust said. Never in dealing with her, never did she appear to be someone who was a threat to society, he said. Gust said if the offender were a male and the situation were the same, the sentence would still fit the crime. Bull fucking shit. If this doesn't say anything about our court system, then I don't know what the fuck will. You know she got off with a light sentence because she's female. Well, one of the biggest factors is because she's female. And I like the bullshit thing they made up. Like, if she were a male and the situation were exactly the same, she would still get the same sentence. Bullshit. No, they wouldn't. Because if a male did this shit, imagine, I want you to think of a scenario right now. Imagine if a big black dude did this to some I don't know, skinny white girl, and did the same exact shit. Nothing changed. Only the genders were swapped. That's it. This person would be scrutinized. The media would be on top of this person. They would be fucking criticizing the hell out of them, and it would be a huge story. Trust me. But because this is a female and this happened to a male, oh no, it's not a big deal. She's not a threat to society at all. Fucking hell. Again, it really does show how broken the court system is in this country, how it just favors females. And it's just so blatant as well. Again, if the genders were swapped, then you would never hear the end of this story. People would be talking about it. It would be trending on social media, probably. Oh my God, this big dude, he raped a woman and threatened her at knife point. But because a woman did this, you don't hear anything at all. And the part that got to me the most was probably the part where they said she got off, where she got a light sentence because of her mental problems and because of her lack of criminal record, and they don't think she'll do well in prison. Well, fuck that shit, alright? Anyone who does shit like this has a screw loose. Nothing will convince me otherwise, alright? Because if you rape someone and threaten them at knife point, then you have problems. Obviously, there's something in your brain telling you that this is okay, this is acceptable behavior, when it fucking isn't. This woman is a threat to society, and the fact that she got such a light sentence probably tells her that, oh, if I do shit like this again, then I'll get such a light sentence, it won't be anything, I'll be out in no time, like nothing ever happened. And she's probably going to do the same shit, or probably something even worse, you never know, all over again, and you'll probably be hearing about this woman again. I don't think this is the end of her. I don't think she'll learn her lesson. If anything, this will probably make her worse and probably inspire other females who think about doing shit like this to do the shit that they think is normal and acceptable, like raping a man and threatening them at knife point. It'll probably inspire them to do shit like that, and they'll probably think, oh, I'll get away with this, well, almost get away with this, and get a light sentence, and yeah, I'll be out in no time. Same exact thought process. And also, notice the feminists. Oh wait, you don't notice the feminists because they haven't said jack shit about this. Alright, all of you stupid ass feminists, you all complain about trivial shit. You complain about objectification of women in video games, or billboards that objectify women, and stupid trivial shit like that doesn't affect you in the slightest and doesn't affect society in the slightest. You worry about stupid shit like that when you should really start with our broken-ass court system. You want equality? You want to be treated exactly like men? Start with this broken-ass court system and, actually make sure women get the same exact sentences as men for doing the same exact crime a man would commit. Oh, wait, no, because that'll make women look bad, and you want men to look as bad as possible. So you're not going to say shit about this, because who gives a shit about actual equality when it doesn't benefit you at all? And this is why I loathe modern-day feminism and loathe a lot of modern-day feminists, because it's all about making women look as good as possible and making men look as bad as possible. They don't give a shit, and they don't really give a shit about actual equality, like I said just a second ago. Anyways, I'm done with this story. Washington man accused of sex while driving drunk enters plea. A Washington man accused of crashing a vehicle because he was having sex while driving drunk pleaded not guilty to multiple charges. Reports that a 22-year-old Michael Tonkin entered his plea on Monday. State police say a 3-month-old baby was in the back of the seat of the vehicle that crashed while Tonkin and a woman were having sex in the driver's seat. Witnesses reported seeing both adults emerge from the vehicle naked after crashing. Tonkin suffered an injured wrist. The 22-year-old female broke her pelvis, and her baby was unharmed in the car seat. Thank fucking God. If convicted, this would be Tonkin's 4th DUI, which is a felony. He was offered $500,000 bail. It is not yet known if the woman will be facing any charges with her daughter in the back seat. Of course not. First off, fuck anyone who decides to drive drunk. 2, fuck anyone who decides to drive drunk and have sex while doing that. And 3, fuck anyone who has a 3-month-old baby in the back seat of the car while driving drunk and having sex on top of that. I mean, I hope this woman loses her kid, to be honest. I don't know if it's also the guy's kid. I didn't mention any of that in the article, but I hope the woman loses her kid, and I also hope she's charged for this, because she's obviously a terrible fucking mother. What kind of fucking woman would have sex with her boyfriend while the boyfriend is driving, and drunk on top of that, and have her 3-month-old baby in the car? Obviously, she is a danger to it, and she should not have it. And certain people, they just should not have kids in general, honestly. Like, they'd be doing the kid a massive favor if they just gave it up for adoption, or, wait for it, aborted it, because I'm sure the kid would end up dead anyway with a mother like this who has their baby in the back seat of a car while she's fucking her boyfriend while her boyfriend is driving while intoxicated. Like, I swear, some people just have kids just to show them off, or just to say, oh, woohoo, I'm a parent, alright. And once the excitement wears off, once they've showed off the baby to like all their friends and family and shit, and everyone's like, oh, good job on having a kid, cool, the luxury wears off, and then reality starts to settle in, and then you don't give a fuck about the kid anymore, and you do shit like this, and you really don't care about the kid's well-being. Again, this woman should not have her kid. Her kid should be taken away, and yes, she should be punished for this, because that kid could have potentially died in a car wreck because of her stupidity, because of how fucking dumb she is. And also to the guy, dude, don't even bother pleading not guilty, alright? It's just a waste of time. There were witnesses at the scene, dumbass. They saw the car crash. They saw you and your girlfriend come out naked, and I'm sure they saw the 3-month-old baby in the back seat. There's no denying it happened, alright? So don't even fucking bother. Just serve the time, and that's it. Also, I hope you never get the privilege to drive again, because you already had 4 DUIs before this. And honestly, I hope your license is revoked and you're never able to drive again, because you're an incompetent driver, and you obviously don't give a shit about about others' safety on the road, because you drive intoxicated and fuck your girlfriend while doing that. Fucking piece of shit. Man surfing on car roof killed and 11 others injured in crash, police say. One man has died and 11 others were injured after a Leap Cherokee with 3 people car surfing on the roof swerved off an Oklahoma road and crashed. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says 27-year-old Brian Mitchell McGurk of Miami, Oklahoma, died Saturday evening in Tulsa of injuries sustained in the accident Friday. He was riding on the roof and was ejected 20 feet. Also on the roof were 27-year-old Adrian Diane Ellison and 20-year-old Brandon Carter, both from Columbus, Kansas. Ellison was ejected on 100 feet and is hospitalized in fair condition. Carter was treated and released. The trooper's report says that there were 9 others in the vehicle. The vehicle swerved off a gravel road into a ditch, grazed a tree, and struck another tree before landing on its top. And you know what? I don't feel bad at all for the guy who died. I also don't feel bad at all for all the people who were injured in that car. And you're probably like, oh, how could you say that? That's so mean. And here's my response. How could you condone something as fucking stupid as this? People need to realize that just doing dangerous shit can lead to very serious consequences and very serious injuries depending on what the fuck you're doing, and car surfing is a huge example of that. Many injuries and deaths have resulted in something like car surfing, and car surfing is incredibly dangerous, but of course, brain-dead idiots, like these people, are not gonna know that, or just don't care, and they're like, I'm gonna be fine, I'm not gonna get hurt at all, and look what the fuck happened. Now, all 11 people are injured, and one of their friends fucking died because they decided to car surf. And you know what? Again, I don't feel bad at all. No, I don't. When people either die or get seriously injured as a result of them choosing to do something incredibly stupid and dangerous, I don't feel bad at all for them. I don't feel any sympathy for them. And I'm always going to reference the La Mona Lisa incident when stuff like this happens and it catches my attention. La Mona Lisa was a woman who thought putting a thick encyclopedia in front of her husband's chest and shooting his chest with a .50 caliber Desert Eagle handgun, a very powerful handgun, might I add, and she thought the book would actually stop that bullet. And as a result, she lost her boyfriend. Her boyfriend died from the injury, and 2 of her kids are without a father. And I don't feel bad at all for her. I feel bad for the kids, yes, because they have dumbass parents, and they didn't give a shit at all of what might possibly happen, and their kids possibly not having a father for the rest of their lives. But I don't feel bad at all for the woman, because she chose to do this without doing any research whatsoever. And look what happened. She didn't give a shit about the consequences until after the consequences happened. And And the same thing here. These people decided to car surf. They either knew about the potential risks and decided to ignore them, or just not give a shit at all, and they decided to do this, and look what the fuck happened. Look what the fuck happened. Someone died, and many people were injured. I know this is very sadistic to say, but it's just really funny when shit like this happens, because it's really a wake-up call to idiots who want to try shit like this. Well, it should be a wake-up call, but it isn't, and people try this anyway, and it's just funny to see when people try to do dangerous and stupid shit like this, they think they look cool, and something horrible ends up happening. Natural selection at its finest. People are tweeting R.I.P. Charles Manson, thinking he's Marilyn Manson, and by people, we mean idiots. It seems as though some Twitter users can't read, or are just stupid, definitely the latter, because they began tweeting about the wrong person entirely, Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson is a rock star and musician. Charles Manson is a serial killer and psychopath. Clearly very different individuals, and yet Twitter still found a way to fuck it up, of course. I mean, just take a look. R.I.P. Charles Manson. R.I.P. Charles Manson. A bunch of sad emojis. I mean, how can people fuck up something so fucking simple? Jesus Christ, I'm not even that much of a Marilyn Manson fan, but it's common knowledge that he got his stage name from both Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson and combined the two names together. I mean, it's common fucking knowledge, but yet people on Twitter still seem to fuck things up because they don't like, I don't know, I guess they don't like doing the most basic ass research, and it's just fucking hilarious that they're inadvertently that a psychopathic cult leader that ordered people to kill other people died. I mean, it's just fucking hilarious. If I were followed to these accounts on Twitter and I saw this in my feed, I would definitely unfollow them right away and say, you're a fucking moron and really a waste of oxygen. If you can't differentiate the two, if you really think these two people are the same exact people, and it really does show that they really aren't fans of Marilyn Manson at all. Because, well, one, they don't know that he combined those two names, and that's how he got his stage name. And two, also, if they were actually a fan of Marilyn Manson, they would actually know that Charles Manson is a completely different person. And here's a bit of a mini rant here. Stop pretending to be sad over a celebrity's death if you weren't a fan of that celebrity in the first place. I mean, it's so obvious that these people weren't even Marilyn Manson fans. They just were like, oh, this famous guy died. Well, they didn't. Well, someone completely different died, but they thought in their mind, oh, this famous singer died. I could probably only name like one song and hardly even remember how it goes, but this famous person died. Let me write about it on Twitter and pretend that I give a shit, and then just move on with my day and completely forget about it. Again, it just shows that these people weren't even Marilyn Manson fans, and I'm glad that they humiliated themselves, because it shows who they really are. People don't give a shit about a celebrity's death, and they just tweet about it or write a post about it on whatever so they could get a bunch of likes on the post. Fucking hilarious that they humiliated themselves like this, and also fucking disgusting, but anyways, next article. Mad Mike Hughes plans to prove the flat earth theory in a $20,000 rocket. I don't believe in science, the affirmation of a 61-year-old limo driver who believes the earth is flat. Mike Hughes has started the countdown to launch a self-taught rocket into the atmosphere near the ghost town of Ambae, California. People call him eccentric, quirky, foolhardy, but he doesn't really seem to care, given the fact that he builds a rocket that's going to outer space. Hughes got the permission from the town's owner, the launch taking place next to a dilapidated hangar. Look, I'm not big into science, I'm not a science nerd or anything, but I think even I am qualified to ask this question. When the fuck are these flat earthers gonna finally give up, okay? They've been trying years and years and years to prove that the earth is flat, but nothing they brought out is compelling and is easily refutable. And look, I understand why people believe shit like this back in like the 1400s. We had very simple technology back then. We hardly had any at all. And people didn't really sail across the world back then, and they didn't know that there was another side to the world. And people eventually did sail across the world and noticed there was more land, and also those ships didn't fall off the Earth. So obviously the Earth is round; it's not flat. And here's a way to shut up a flat earther: ask them, where the fuck is the edge? Okay, and they're gonna probably start scratching their heads. And they're gonna be like, and sound like the idiots that they really are. It's just sad that in 2017 we still have people who think this, who still think the Earth is flat, and it's already been established for centuries and centuries that the Earth is round, but you still have these drooling idiots who still think that the Earth is flat, and they're still stuck in, like, I don't know, 1431, some shit like that. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous that a man would go to such a length to build a $20,000 rocket and send it off into space just to prove that the Earth is flat. And one person in the comment section to this article wrote, "I wish there was I hope there's a camera that films this guy's face just to see the look of disappointment when he finally realizes that the Earth is round and not flat." And I'm like, yes, please put a camera in there. I so want to see this guy's facial expression when he finds out that the Earth is actually round. But whatever. I'm sure he'll probably still try to find a way to prove that the Earth is flat, even after seeing for himself that the Earth is round, but whatever. And people wonder why I don't like humanity so much. People wonder why I don't really have much hope for humanity. It's shit like this. It's filled with stupid-ass people like this who believe that the Earth is flat and a bunch of other shit that, it's just so fucking ridiculous, but there's still people out there who actually unironically believe this shit. And again, this is just one of the many reasons as to why I just really don't have that much hope for humanity. But anyways, with that being said, that is it. So that is all for the first installment of Stupid News. I really hope you enjoy this first installment of Stupid News, and I hope you look forward to future installments of the series, because I'm definitely doing another one of these. Again, I don't have a set schedule, so I don't know if I'll be doing one next month, or in 2 months, or in 3 months. It's not like Cringy Comments where I have a set schedule for that, where I do it every 2 months, but I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll do another one next month, maybe in 3 months, I don't know. Again, I don't have a set schedule. And also, if you want to submit a stupid news story to me, I have a channel in my Discord that's completely dedicated to stupid news stories. It's always been there, but I'm finally putting that channel to use. So anyways, if you want to submit a stupid news story, feel free to join my Discord. And also, please join my Discord, especially if you want to, talk to me or, get a hold of me or anything along those lines. Your best bet is my Discord server nowadays. I'm very active on there. I reply to almost every single post on there. So if you have a question or if you just want to talk to me, again, best bet, my Discord server. It's linked in the description below. You could also tweet at me, but I'm not really as active on Twitter as I once was. I was never really that active on there, but again, best bet, Discord server, but still, Twitter's an option. All linked in the description, like I said. With that being said, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.